Welcome back to the second video on the channel. Today we're going to be talking about how homeowners actually choose a painter and the physiological breakdown of it. Before we get started, for anybody that is new tuning into this channel, my name is Alex. I'm with Azeno. We are a marketing agency and I'm the owner of it. But we help painting businesses build predictable, high quality client acquisition systems. And then after analyzing hundreds of homeowner inquiries, ad campaigns, sales conversations, and book jobs, we notice clear physiological patterns that determine why a homeowner chooses one painter over another. It's rarely about being the cheapest, it's about how their brain interprets trust, safety, expertise, and confidence. All right. So today I'm breaking down the 5 physiological triggers that homeowners use without even realizing it, and how painters can leverage them to win more jobs at higher prices. So here we have the second doc. It says how homeowners actually choose a painter and the physiological breakdown of it. All right, so let's get right into it. So here we have the 5 physiological triggers. So the first trigger that we're going to go over here is the first impression trust signals. So it's called the 3-second test. So before a homeowner reads a single word, their brain already has judged your business. And this happens when they land on your website, your Facebook page, your Google business profile, your ad creative, or your before and after gallery. So these are the main 5. So depending on where they stumble upon, whether it's your website first or if you're on Facebook, just whatever you're more active on, right? That's what they'll judge you based upon. So in about 3 seconds, their brain filters you as either professional and trustworthy or risky and to keep looking. So what they subconsciously scan for is clean, modern branding. So you don't want some ugly, like kind of branding, like that looks like it was made in a couple seconds, right? You want clear value proposition or an offer. So an offer that can rival your competitors, right? Like you don't want these simple offers that people are obviously just gonna skim through. So and then you obviously need real photos of past projects. So like with AI, a lot of people are using fake photos and generating fake, projects and results. And you can tell most of them are AI. So if you take a really high quality before and after picture, or just a picture of your past project, you could pretty clearly tell. Like it's pretty easy. And then also easy contact button. So this could be on like Facebook where it has like a little call button or like messaging. A lot of people for some reason don't have this as an option and they kind of just let people comment on the post and they never get to them. So this one's really simple. It should be a no-brainer to have. And then no blurry images. No one wants to see some very blurry photos or videos of stuff you're doing, right? It doesn't have that appeal to it and they think you're not professional, right? And then no outdated logos, just like we said with the clean modern branding. You don't want a logo that looks like it was made with some type of like tool that took 3 to 5 seconds to make, right? And no messy truck, ladder, garage photos. This one, and I personally, with my father's painting business, he never has like a messy truck or like photos like that. I don't even think he takes any. So this one you can kind of just put aside. Just make sure your truck isn't like messy looking, right? If you do decide to take pictures of it. So the key takeaway from that first trigger is if your online presence looks premium, your homeowners assume your work is premium. So that's the key takeaway of the first trigger. So to get right into the second trigger, social proof hierarchy. Why reviews matter more than price. Okay. Homeowners don't want the lowest price. They want the safest decision. So what does that mean exactly? Like, yes, homeowners do want like a deal out of it. Like if they have someone who's offering something cheaper, like they'll look into it. But you got to realize cheaper doesn't always mean better. So that's why they want the safest decision. So they'll go for a more expensive option if it's more safer, right? So the order that they check is Google reviews, before and after evidence, testimonials, professionalism in your messaging, real human faces connected to the brand. All right. So for Google reviews, This one, you just got to make sure you got good reviews. If you're on the Google, which you should be, if you're not, go to Google reviews and make sure that you're on there, right? So for before and after evidence, you don't want to have, like I said before, like any AI, before and afters that seem fake. Like you want to be trustworthy. Like make sure you take real good, professional, clean photos before and after, or just pictures that you can post, right? Testimonials. This one's also really good because whenever you finish a project, you do want to make sure that you have the client or the customer that you serve to testify for you and say that you got a really good job and you did this and that for them, right? Of course, you want that. Professionalism in your messaging. This one's pretty huge because what I see with a lot, and especially with my dad, when he does reach out to his potential customers, is he messages very simple, like a kid almost, and it's not his fault because with him, he never really went to school. But with more of you maybe watching this video, like you should have a more professional, not like a non-caring type of way of messaging people, right? You could get better at it by either using ChatGPT or just like taking your time actually writing it out and like mean what you're saying, right? So, and then the last one we have is real human faces connected to the brand. So you don't want, some faceless brand, like on the internet wanting to come paint your house, do you? Like it's more trustworthy if they know what you look like, see your employees, see that you're a good, like community within your employees yourself, like and whatnot. So it's really good to make sure you have like your human face, real human face connected to the actual brand itself. So if any of these elements are missing or weak, trust collapses. You got to realize that. Even if your work is perfectly perfect, amazing, whatever it is, if that trust isn't there, they're going to go with your competitor. So just make sure that all five of those are in place. So the key takeaway is social proof is perceived as safety. So painters rarely lose jobs because someone is better. Like, yes, it may happen, but that's a rare case. They lose or they lost them because the competitor felt safer with it, right? So that's the key takeaway for trigger number two. So for trigger number three, we have authority bias. So why experts win automatically. With people follow the okay, people follow the person who appears to be the expert, right? If you don't seem like you know what you're doing, who would want, you know, to take your service? So homeowners want clarity, guidance, and education. If you can provide all three of these, you're almost guaranteed to have them, excuse me, like want your service, you know, not just some sales pressure of basically trying to force them to buy just because of this or that, right? So you demonstrate this authority when you explain product differences. So premium versus cheap paint. If you tell them the difference, like if they don't know something, like if they try to pick some very cheap paint and they don't know it, you could explain to them, okay, this is better. It may be more expensive, but it'll last you way longer. It'll look better, stuff like that, right? So show your prep process. This one, I had to show it to my own dad because he rarely did this, but sometimes it does work. Like you can just get right into it. You don't have to really show them. This just depends on the person, but it is very good to show them because they want to make sure like there's no like mess going to be involved, and they just want to know like how everything's going to work out, right? So make sure you show them the process, and you'll be good. So walk through why cheap painters cut corners. This one should be pretty, a no brainer because a lot of painters do like to do this, and then they overcharge. So you don't want to be that painter that you know overcharges and then do a cheap job. You explain to them exactly why you're the better option and why you don't cut corners, right? So don't cut corners. Make sure you don't. And if you do, you better pick up your game because people are gonna get onto you. So, and then we have post short educational content weekly. This one, it's starting to become more mainstream. I see because a lot of painters are posting educational content like about what they do. It's something that my dad has yet to do for his painting business, but I'll help him with that whenever I get to it. But when you do post short educational content on your page, like you'll get a lot more customers interested because they'll see that you know what you're talking about, what you're doing, right? So once you share insights, homeowners didn't know. So once again, you give them free information. You tell them like this because you're the professional. You know what you're doing. You're not just there to waste your time or take their money. You're there to provide them with a really good service, right? So it's really good to share insights with homeowners that really don't know like a lot of these things, right? So the key takeaway from this would be the painter who educates becomes the authority, and the authority wins the job, even at a higher price. So you could charge at a higher price, and they won't care as long as you know what you're doing and you're basically explaining to them the value of why you're charging the price you charge. All right, and then for trigger four, we have offer psychology. So what makes homeowners say yes fast? This one is going to be a really important one because I know a lot of painters just want to like go there, and get that yes fast. So this one's going to be really good to listen to. So most painters say free estimates, but you already know every single painter does that. Like who does it? If you don't do a free estimate, what are you doing? You're just selling yourself at that point. So homeowners want an offer that creates confidence and clarity, not confusion. Okay. So high converting offers include a clear dollar based amount. So in my previous video, we already covered this, but for the ones who didn't watch that previous video, a clear dollar based amount could be something along the lines of like $500 off or $1,000 off your exterior project or your interior project or just any project in general, right? That's a clear dollar based discount. And then we have a guaranteed start date. We did not cover this in the previous video, so this one's also really good because if you can guarantee them when you'll start to work, it's pretty much a no-brainer if you're giving them like, let's say, like a 3-day notice, like, okay, yeah, we can start working as soon as possible, and it's guaranteed. Like you don't want to postpone and make them feel like why did I pick this person, right? So guaranteeing a start date is very good for homeowners. So warranty or quality guarantee. This is the same thing. So just make sure you cover for your work. Like if you do a pretty bad job, don't just like tell them off because at the end of the day, that's just going to create bad reputation for your business. So just make sure you have a good warranty or a guarantee in general for if you or any of your employees mess up or do anything wrong, right? So free color consultation, also went over this in my previous video. Just people like seeing the word free. So if you offer them something for free, like on the side, like on top of the service that you're providing, then it's like, who wouldn't take that, right? Even if it's just like a color consultation. Seasonal promos with urgency. So this one would work perfectly like during seasons like fall, summer, spring, winter. Like right now, currently we're in winter, so you could do some seasonal like promotion saying get your interior painted or like something like 10% off your interior book before Christmas, right? It's like something with that kind of urgency creates, potential buyers because they want to get that deal as soon as possible. So the offer should instantly answer, why should I choose you right now instead of later? That's like the question, right? So if you can basically give them an offer that instantly answers that question, like without them having to even think about it or say it out loud, then you already won. So the key takeaway, your offer creates urgency, not your price. All right, and then for the final trigger here, we have your follow speed, your silent competitive advantage. This one's also very important, and you have to make sure this one's like on your A game. Because I also covered this in the previous video, but once again, we'll go over it because this one is very important. So homeowners almost always hire the painter who replies first, follows up consistently, sounds confident and professional. So I know how hard it can be when you're a business owner and you're always busy doing this and doing that, like doing this project, and you just don't have that much time to get to the phone, right? But you have to realize, like, if you really do take your business serious and you want to get as many clients, like high paying clients as possible, you have to make sure you have some type of system in place. Either hire someone who can take these calls and follow up for you, or just make sure you do it yourself, right? So following up consistently. So my dad, for some reason, thinks following up just one time saying, "Hey, are you still interested?" is enough to make them want to come back, right? No, 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 no. If this is what you are currently doing, you are doing it wrong. You have to make sure if someone comes to you asking for your service and you follow up them only once saying, "Oh, like, hey, I just saw this." Hey, honestly, you shouldn't even be saying that. You shouldn't say, "I just saw this." You should get to that message as soon as possible. So as soon as you get that message, answer it within the first hour, if possible. But regarding the following up, you got to make sure you keep following up until they either block you or they straight up tell you, "I'm not interested anymore." Okay. Just because they don't reply back does not mean it's a no until you hear it from them. So make sure you keep following up until either one of those happen. So, and then also we have sound confident and professional. So if you're taking a phone call with them, make sure you're not sounding dumb. Like you know what you're doing. You're in the house painting contractor business for a reason. You know what you're talking about. So be confident when you're talking to them. Be authoritative and also professional. And once again, this is one of those trust things. They'll see you as professional. You'll seem like a really good choice. So if you're slow, they assume you'll be slow during the project. You have to realize that. Being slow anywhere at any time, people think about that. So make sure you're responding fast. Like it says, if you respond fast, they assume you'll be reliable during the job. So speeds builds trust. Silence destroys it. So the key takeaway of that last trigger is if you're not following up within 5 minutes, your competitor is winning by default because your competitor already has a system in place where they have an automated like AI like already sending them the message out or calling them so that they can call you back, right? So make sure you get that in place, hire someone, get an automated AI to do that for you, right? It's not too hard. So what this means for your business. When you stack all 5 of these physiological triggers together, you completely change how homeowners perceive you. So, even if you're not the cheapest, even if you're not the biggest, even if you don't have the most reviews yet, if you could be starting off completely new, you become the obvious choice. Here's the formula. So, remember, branding, make sure you have really good branding. Don't look like some, you know, business that just came out the slums or like that they don't even know what they're doing. They don't have a good logo, nothing like that. Make sure you offer or make sure your offer is really good. So those seasonal offers, once again, any type of discount, free consultations. Don't just do free estimates. Everybody does it. We know this. Proof. Make sure you have the proof to back up your work so that you don't look like some random not knowing what they're doing. Authority. Make sure you're confident in what you're saying and what you know what you're doing. You don't want to seem like you don't know what you're doing. Even if you're just starting off as a house painter, do some research into house painting. Learn about it. Be confident. That's what homeowners are looking for. And also knowledge. So, of course, that. And then speed, super important as well. Be fast when contacting your clients and just doing basically everything within your business. Like I know it can be stressful. You're always busy, but you got to realize at some point or at another, you're gonna have to start delegating work to others in your business if you want to grow and succeed. All right. So when these 5 overlap, you stand out instantly. Homeowners trust you quickly. Price becomes less of an issue. You attract higher quality clients, and then your close rate climbs dramatically. Okay. So this is how painters scale without burning out, without taking low margin jobs, and without relying on referrals alone. All right. So if any of that did not make sense, you can 100% leave a comment, or I don't know, you could even DM me on Instagram, or just anywhere. I'm reachable really anywhere. Like on my website, it'll be down in the description. It'll be down in the comments. I'm pretty much reachable on any platform, right? So if you're a painting business and you want help to implement like these physiological triggers, from premium branding to high performing ads to automated follow ups, like that's exactly what we do at Azeno, right? We create painter specific acquisition systems that help you get consistent, high quality clients every single month. So if you want to know more about that, once again, you can just leave a comment and I'll give you the full rundown. Or even if you want more access, there's my website in the comments below or in the description, and you can fill out that form if you do need help setting up any of this, or if you just need paid ads ran in general so you can get those clients every single month. But that's pretty much going to wrap this video. It was pretty long. It's like a 21-minute video, but I really do hope this was insightful, and I really hope you have a great day. So God bless.